students. Today in this video we are going to see solar cell and its characteristics. Solar cell, that all of you know by common name, but what is its scientific name? Its scientific name is photovoltaic cell. Yes, it is a photovoltaic cell. Why it is called as photovoltaic cell? Because when photons or light falls on it, then voltage is generated, and therefore it is called as a photovoltaic cell. Now these photovoltaic cells are having tremendous applications in our day-to-day life. Industrial applications are also there. So you will see solar cells in, let's say, irrigation or in aircraft also, or for remote areas. And especially you will see a very common use of solar cell in your calculator like this. So there are tremendous applications of solar cell, and we should know some common things about this solar cell. And today in this experiment you will learn a lot of things about solar cell. So the aim of this experiment is to study IV characteristics of solar cell to find the fill factor of solar cell. Now what is fill factor? Fill factor is a characteristic of solar cell which represents the quality of solar cell. Higher the fill factor, better is the solar cell. The fill factor value normally ranges from 0.5 to 0.8. But remember that efficiency is a different concept. Efficiency of solar cell and fill factor are different. We are not talking here about efficiency, we are talking here about fill factor of a solar cell. So when we plot the graph, at that time you will understand what is the fill factor and what is its importance. Okay, so first we will understand the apparatus that has to be used here. So you can see here, this is the solar cell panel which will give you around 2 volt DC output. Now internally this particular solar cell panel is connected to this point internally, and again this particular other point of solar cell is connected to this point internally. Means this is output of solar cell positive and this is solar cell negative. Then as we have to study the IV characteristic, we must connect a variable load resistance which is here or below this particular knob. We can vary this load resistance by rotating this knob. We can measure the voltage across the resistance or solar cell by connecting a voltmeter which should be connected parallel to this solar cell like this, that we will connect later on. And to measure the current to the circuit, we have to connect ammeter across these 2 points. So you can compare or you can see this particular circuit diagram for your understanding purpose. So circuit diagram is like this: solar cell, then voltmeter, then ammeter and variable load resistance. The same circuit you can see here. Now we have to make certain connections here to complete this particular circuit. Before that, let me tell you what is this and what is this. So here this experiment should be performed in dark room, and therefore we need a light source, fixed intensity light source, so which is this incandescent bulb, and you can change its intensity by using this particular knob. But remember that while performing experiment or while taking readings, intensity should be fixed once you start the experiment. Alright, so now we will make connections using different cables. So this device, you might be familiar with this. So here these are multimeters which can be used as a voltmeter and ammeter here. So first I will connect voltmeter. So positive of this solar cell will be connected to the positive of voltmeter. Now see here there are different points to connect, but out of that where to connect? So here you will see COM. COM means common or negative or ground. Here A indicates ampere, or to measure the current we should connect here, but we don't have to connect here. Here voltage and ohm, that is resistance. To measure the resistance or voltage we have to connect positive here. Then we will connect negative of solar cell. So you see this is the negative of solar cell, that we will connect to the negative of voltmeter. Then we will connect ammeter, very simple connection. Voltmeter we have connected parallel to the solar cell, and now ammeter we have to connect in series in the circuit. So positive of solar cell we will connect to now here where here, yes, it is ampere or ammeter, and negative of solar cell will connect to the negative here. So in this way our connections are over. Now see, this particular voltage we have to set it to 20 volts DC volt. Remember this, there is also AC, but we have to point this knob to the 20 volt DC. So this DC and this AC, so DC volt. And now we will see what settings should be there for the ammeter. So again, current can be AC or DC. Now as this solar cell is giving you DC, so we'll point this knob to the 200 microampere range. So this is a DC current measurement range. Now I will switch on this and this also. So at present this environmental light or ambient light is getting incident on the solar cell, and you are getting here 0.7 volt output, and here current is 7.7 microampere. So if I switch on this lamp, so let us see what will be the change in the intensity and current. Now you can see here, I will switch it on. I have switched on, and now when I increase the intensity, what will happen to the voltage? Now you will see that voltage has become greater than 1. Now as I increase the intensity, voltage increases. Now it has become 1.6. So this is the full intensity and voltage is 1.6. And now see, simultaneously current that was 7 point something, now it has become 16.2, means current is also increased. It means that when the incident light intensity increases, voltage and current both increases simultaneously, means output power of solar cell increases, because output power is nothing but the product of voltage and current. Fill factor formula is given by Im into Vm by Isc into Voc, or it can also be given as P max by P ideal. P ideal is equal to Isc into Voc. Now what is Isc? Isc is short circuit current and Voc is open circuit voltage. Now what is this, that I will explain practically later on. P max. P max means what? Maximum practical output power by solar cell, that is called as a P max, and it is given by Im into Vm, that is a this is current at maximum output power, and this is the voltage at maximum output power. So in this way we can calculate this fill factor. Now we will take readings. So before that we have to start the light here. So I will start the light source. I will keep some fixed intensity. You can vary the intensity of the light using this knob. Now this maximum intensity will put some optimum intensity here like this. Now this is a variable load resistance knob. You can vary the load resistance here. Initially you have to keep the load resistance maximum. That is the maximum load resistance. When load resistance is maximum, voltage will be maximum and current will be minimum. Now before taking readings, I will tell you exactly what is VOC and ISC. Now you will see that this is a voltmeter because it is connected parallel to the solar cell, and this is ammeter because this is connected in series with the circuit with the load resistance. Therefore this is ammeter whose reading we are taking in microamperes. Now we have to understand the concept of VOC, open circuit voltage. Now here you will see that this particular circuit is complete or it is closed circuit. But now when I disconnect the circuit, it will become open. When I open the circuit, current will be 0 and voltage will be the highest. Let us see. Now I will open this circuit from this point and now observe the voltage and current simultaneously. Now I have opened this circuit. Now when I open the circuit is disconnected. Now therefore resistance is infinite, and when the resistance is infinite, current will be 0 and voltage will be highest. So this voltage is called as open circuit voltage. Now open circuit voltage is 2.68 volts. So open circuit voltage is 2.67 volts. Now I will take short circuit current. Now what is short circuit current? Let us see. Now see here, this particular circuit is open. Now I will close this. Now it is as usual regular circuit, but now in the circuit there is a load resistance and which has some resistance here. Now short circuit means what? Short circuit means what? Load resistance should be 0. So how we can achieve this? We can achieve this by connecting ammeters positive terminal to the positive of solar cell and negative terminal of ammeter to the negative of solar cell. If I connect this, then automatically circuit will be short circuited, and at that moment the voltage will be the lowest and current will be the highest. And just observe this particular voltage and current. Now current is maximum 66.7 and voltage is almost 0 voltage. Do not keep this short circuit condition for a long time, otherwise solar cell will get damaged. So immediately remove this after reading, and now I will reconnect the circuit as usual. So we have seen here short circuit current. So I will record that short circuit current. See, the experiment must be conducted in dark room only. Here I am using external light just to show you how I am taking the readings here. Only for that purpose I am using the external light here. Otherwise you have to perform the experiment in dark room. Now I will start to take the reading here. Now you will see here voltage, how much voltage is there? 1.58, and corresponding current is also there. Now initially I have to make this load resistance maximum. So at this maximum load resistance, voltage is 1.58. For simplicity, I will make this value of 1.58 to, let's say, some 1.5 for convenience. Okay, now it's 1.5. So I have decreased the load resistance, so the voltage also decreased. So value here at the present is 1.5. So I will record this voltage here in the observation table. So this is 1.5 volts, and corresponding current here is 17.6 microamperes. So this is our first reading. Now next reading you have to take by changing this load resistance so that your voltage will decrease by 0.2 volts. So now our reading was here 1.5. So next reading will be, obviously it will be 1.3 volts. So I will reduce the load resistance and voltage will decrease. Now it is 1.3 volts and corresponding current is 22.8. 22.8. So voltage is 1.3 and current is 22.8 microamperes. So in this way, by the difference of 0.2 volts, you have to take remaining readings of voltage and current till you will get minimum voltage. So I will take this reading quickly. So I have taken all the readings here. So total 9 readings I have taken here. So when voltage becomes minimum, so this is 0.06 volt, then I have stopped the taking readings. So this is our last reading, and now we have to plot its graph. Also you can take the product of this voltage and current, and we can write that product in terms of power. But remember that our voltage is in volts, current is in microamperes. We have to convert this microampere into ampere, and then we have to multiply by volt so that we can get the power in watt. I have calculated the power for different combinations of voltage and current here. Now there are different methods by which we can find out P max, that is the maximum output power. One method here is that manually from these calculations of power, we can directly see here which is having a maximum value. So here you will see it is 2.5, 2.9, 3.1, 3.1, 2.9, 2.4, 1.7, 0.6, 0.4. So out of this you will see that this value 3.15 into 10 raised to minus 5 watt. So this is the maximum output power at this particular combination of voltage and current is there. And therefore our value of P max can be found out using this particular value or calculation. Other method here is that we can also find out this particular value using graph also. So see here in this graph, so this is along x-axis it is voltage, y-axis it is current, and this is VOC, open circuit voltage. Already we have discussed about this. This is ISC, and when you draw the projection from this ISC and VOC, so that will intersect at this point, and this point is called as a P ideal point. So this particular point is called as a P ideal or ideal output power, or it is also called as theoretical output power. Then using the values of voltage and current readings we have taken, we can draw a graph that may come somewhat like this curve, or sometimes it may come a straight line like this. And if you draw a line joining the origin and this P ideal, that line will intersect at this graph here, and this particular point of intersection is called as a P max, maximum output power, and corresponding voltage is called as a P max or voltage at maximum output power, and Im or Imax, and that is the current at maximum output power. So in this way we can find out this Vmax or Vm or Im, and we can do the calculations for fill. Now why the fill factor is called as fill factor, you can understand this from this formula and from this graph. Fill factor formula is a ratio of P max, that is the maximum output power, by ideal output power. Now from graph you will see that P ideal point is this, and this corresponds to this particular area, that is VOC into ISC. So this particular product is also the area of this rectangle. And what is P max? P max is Vm into Im. So again this represents the area of this particular small rectangle. Now why it is called as fill factor? This gives the ratio of this P max to P ideal. Means what? How much of P ideal area is filled by the P max area? That is what is given by fill factor. If this P max is equal to P ideal, then your fill factor will be 1. It means that it has completely filled that bigger area. And if P max is, let's say, 0, then how much area will be filled? So it will be 0 area, and therefore fill factor will be 0. So this is the meaning of fill factor. Hence, using this apparatus, we can find out the fill factor of a solar cell using given formula, that is fill factor is equal to P max by P ideal, and by putting the value of Im, Vm and ISC, VOC, we can find out the fill factor. And fill factor value should come from 0.5 to 0.8. Higher the fill factor, better is the solar cell. Alright, so in this way we have studied the IV capacity of solar cell, and we seen how we can find out, how we can calculate the fill factor of solar cell. Thank you.